Tuesday, and here's a live look at a polling center in Manchester, New Hampshire, where voting began just a little over an hour ago. Look at these lines. Lots of people in line ready to cast their ballots today for their top choice of candidates. So we'll watch all day long as those results roll in. Joining us now to talk about what to expect from today's primary election is Governor Tim Pawlenty, former governor of Minnesota and 2012 Republican candidate for president. Gov, it's always good to have you. Okay, your crystal ball, your predictions ahead of tonight's results. What are they?
Well, good morning, Markie, to you and your viewers. Well, if the polls are anywhere close to accurate, Trump's going to win, and the race for nomination for Republican on the Republican side is going to be effectively over. However, as you noted earlier, there's room for surprise in New Hampshire. And so if Nikki Haley were to win tonight, it keeps her campaign alive. Of course, the big question then is what happens next? You go down to South Carolina, her home state, and she's pretty far behind in that state.
Yeah, and let's play hypothetical. Say she doesn't win. Say the polls are correct. You know, she got what she wanted here, a one-on-one matchup with her former boss. If she loses again similarly to how she lost in the Iowa caucuses last week, is it time for her to drop out of the race? How would you advise her camp?
If I was advising her, I'd say as you go into your home state with the prospect of losing it and her senator, Tim Scott, having already endorsed Trump, don't go through that. Don't lose your home state as the next step. Bow out gracefully and move on. But I hope for the nation and for all of us who enjoy, competitive races, I hope she does better than that. And by the way, she's an extraordinarily capable person. I think she's got a bright future. So I think preserving, her options for the future would be well served by the scenario I just outlined as well. And it's becoming obvious the party base, rightly or wrongly, wants Trump to be the candidate.
Yeah, and let's talk about her bright future and what lies ahead. If this does become a Biden-Trump rematch, which all signs are pointing to that being the case, do you think Nikki Haley would be a smart VP choice for President Trump? She's fresh on voters' minds. She has appeal with independents. She'd be a female running mate. Your thoughts there?
I think she'd be a fantastic vice president pick, and especially when Republicans need to do better in the suburbs, particularly second and third ranked suburbs. I think she would have strong appeal there and elsewhere. However, both Trump and she have sworn off the possibility that she would serve as VP. Of course, other candidates. Do you think they
mean that, though? Or do you think that's right now they're one-on-one, they're sparring? We see how quickly Trump's mood changes. Look at Governor DeSantis, sanctimonious. That got retired the second he endorsed him. You think they really mean that?
No.
Yeah.
I think there's history is filled with those kinds of things being said and then changing later. However, with President Trump, I would just put a footnote in it. He really, really values loyalty, and anyone who's been against him, even mildly, I think it may be on his list to be rejected.
Yeah, they get the ire quickly.
Yep.
As you know, economy tops the list of what's on voters' minds this year. The stock market surged on Monday, also on Friday, with both the Dow and the S&P closing at all-time highs. Could an economic boom on the eve of the New Hampshire primary impact how people vote today, or is 24 hours too quick a turnaround for voters to don their rose-colored glasses?
Too quick for today, but I think history would show, even though it lags behind the actual news, that an improving economy or a deteriorating economy affects elections, no doubt about it. But there are other big issues looming, including a lot of people, not just Republicans, really concerned to the point of being very angry about, out of control illegal immigration.
And lastly, I just wanted to run some numbers by you. According to our latest exclusive NewsNation Decision Desk HQ polling, 59% of voters are not enthusiastic about a possible Trump-Biden rematch this November. How has former President Trump been able to keep such a strong lead in the polls throughout this race if the majority of Americans don't want to see a rematch come 2020?
Because the majority of Americans don't vote in Republican caucuses and primaries. And so it's the party base that does this voting, and they love Trump. And we can't deny it. They love Trump. They'll do almost anything for him, as these results are showing in Iowa and perhaps tonight in New Hampshire and elsewhere. So that's just the reality. The rest of the country is less excited about it, to put it mildly. And now we're left with these choices. And I think we have two candidates in their own way that are, flawed. But that's where we're at as a country.
Yeah, a lot of double doubters. And when I say come 2020, I clearly mean 2024. I haven't had enough coffee this morning. Governor Tim Pawlenty, thanks so much as always. We'll check back in for a debrief. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.